Listen here, girl. I know you think it's a game, but it is absolutely not. Okay, this is the energy supplement from Just Move Supplements. That's right. It's damn near all gone, girl, and that's because I had to get that energy up so I can complete the workout, so I can give y'all this body, this transformation, get into it. Okay, and I'm done working out now, so that's why we're moving on to the protein shakes. Oh yes, it's already in there, girl. It's already made right here. This is the mixture of the banana pudding, the chocolate cake, and the buttercream cupcake. And you really want to be fancy, you can go ahead and add that blueberry muffin if that's what you want to do, girl. But for me, it's these three right here. Okay, you put that with some almond milk, you mix it all up in honey. Okay, your muscles have gained life, new energy, agility. Get into it, okay? Just Move Supplements. Thank you very much. Hold up, Chief. Okay, don't forget about that TLC NutriBurst to get that multivitamin probably, because we all need a little extra. And child, if you want that sea moss that go down smooth, don't come up rough, okay? Get into the TLC Nautica sea moss. Yes, get that from me. And child, if your stomach hurt and you need to move some things around so you can be free, okay, go ahead and get that ISO tea down below in the description box. Get it all from me. Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in, not come. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird, whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue. Let's go ahead, let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Hey girl, hey. Hi everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue and I'm back, girl. So, before we get into the topics, and we're about to get into the mess, girl, because I know that's what y'all here for, right? We about to get into the mess. But let me just say this. Shout out to the girl, Erica De Niro TV. Okay? Y'all know your girl is a book reader. Okay? My eyes are bad, so I need to be able to hear it as I read along so I can, I can keep up. Because my eyes is bad, okay? I can look at screens and see large letters clearly. But after a while of reading on paper, child, everything start getting real blurry. So I have been both reading and listening to the reading of the Great Cosmic Mother, the rediscovering of the religion of the earth. Cassandra Faye Floyd has been reading it on YouTube, y'all. If y'all are interested in hearing somebody read this book, I'm telling y'all right now. this book, child, not Jadena reviewing it on his YouTube 3 years ago. Child, y'all know Jadena went through a whole little change of his image. He talked to y'all about how he used to be using women and stuff like that. Well, apparently he must have read the Great Cosmic Mother, and now he's trying to change his ways so he can return to mother, to be reborn again. Okay, girl. This book is so motherfucking good. It's so good. It's so good. I am, girl, when I tell you I am enthralled, and really because it just makes so much sense. And even the introduction of the book, it discussed how everything has to align. Everything has to match up in order for it to really make sense. And when you seek that alignment in everything, you will find the truth. Y'all, I'm telling y'all right now, if you are trying to evolve as a person, and I'm not talking about just for women, I'm talking about for men as well, because I feel like y'all need to read this shit too, because y'all need to see how y'all are being used in this system, but you think that you have the upper hand. You really don't. You only have the upper hand over the people that you are being allowed to oppress. You heard what I say, allowed. Because essentially you are still being oppressed. And I keep trying to tell y'all what Martin Luther King said back in the day. Okay? An injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. Because you have got to understand that when they are oppressing women, they are also oppressing the workforce. And the workforce is who? Who's the workforce? The men and the women alike. But when I tell y'all, This book, written in 1987, is reading 2024 down to its kneecaps, bitch, down to its rusty, dusty ankles, down to the toenail of the machinery. But here's the thing, as I read it, I start to get more hopeful, right? I start to get more hopeful as I read it because in the invention of the internet, of the live stream, the information that was once hidden can now be heard. This is both a good and bad thing, but in everything, it has to be a symbiotic situation. Good, bad, light, dark, all of that shit. Okay. Child, Charmed used to be trying to tell you too. If you grew up watching Charmed, it's a lot of that shit that's like hidden in those, like a lot of the TV shows that were centered around magic or, science fiction. A lot of that shit has some of these little ideals and these thought processes dropped in them and kind of like covered up and masqueraded with beautiful women and titties. But I feel like a lot of this shit I kind of understood already because I watched Charm so much. Also, it's who I am. But if you know what I'm saying, as far as like always questioning things, bewitched, charm, listen, anything that was trying to show you a semblance of women having some type of power over themselves and what is around them, I'm telling you, it was telling you something. Women and men, child, they speaking. And men, listen, men, please don't think that it's not talking to these women and telling them how they want to be brainless and mindless. That whole, oh, when me and my man are together, my mind I can just disappear and not be in my mind anymore. That shit. Yeah, the comfort of not having to fully be responsible for yourself. That's why women want to be princesses, because you want to be a child. Even though you out here doing adult shit like bringing life into the world, you want to forever be infantilized as a child. Everybody wants to be a child. And I'm telling you, baby, you got to get past it. You got to get past it. We're not going to be kids forever, girl. We're not going to be kids forever. You have got to get past it. But everybody, I feel like the men and the women, everybody is trying to be infantilized in one way or another. It is what I am now coming to understand. Okay. So, y'all get into the great cosmic mother, the rediscovering of the religion of the earth, girl. And I'm about to move on into the topics, child, because we got some things to get into. But girl, when they said in the book that the way the earth creates the air and the atmosphere around us is the same way that Mother Earth created the sky gods, that there is no power in the air. There is no power in the particles of light that's going around in the air. No, it is all of the solid pieces of earth or energy that is creating the air around us. It is nothingness without the actual earth. And what is earth? Mother Earth? Child. Listen, you really be shook. You really be shook. You be reading. It's a whole bunch. Because everybody that has like conspiracy theories and all of that, I feel like if you read this book, it'll make sense of all of your conspiracy theories that make sense anyway. For real. Because it's all a plot. It's all a scheme that Todd set up. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. Y'all know that's a y'all know that's just a phrase now, right? You know how back in the day they would create, robbing Peter to pay Paul. I'm sure that was based off somebody real at some point. Well, now we created. Okay. We created a new one with a scheme being set up by Todd. Okay. Y'all can find hold up. I'm about to pull it up for y'all so that y'all can see where y'all can find the YouTube reading of the book. And if you just Google search The Great Cosmic Mother, I believe there is a free PDF download available somewhere. But I'm gonna pull up the lady's YouTube page who I've been listening to. Hold up. Because I need to pay. All right. Girl, reading down. Do you hear me?
Her.
Y'all
The
ain't heard.
global assembly line,
The glo-
turning out both consumer junk and human consumers. And human replacing robots will be the great machine mother of the world, with the eggs, uteruses, and the hormonal systems of living women attached to it, one way or another, in servo mechanistic functions.
This is somebody writing in 1987 that the way the world was being set up at that time, politically and religiously, with the evangelicals coming into power in a large way during the 80s and shit like that. These people who wrote this book was able to put together what we are now seeing, which is the overtaking of the machine. How many of the movies did y'all see where, all of a sudden machines take over the world and all of that? And that's the reason why I love television and movies so much, because there is some prophetess involved in it. As much as it is controlled and distributed to us in a way to control us and control how we view the world around us, our relationships, everything that how y'all think family is supposed to go, all of that shit is based off of TV shows that y'all have seen and now committed it to your memory as history. And it's not actually factual. When everybody's talking about traditional, it's like, what time period do you really want to go back to? I want you to pick a fucking year out the book so we can go historically and look at that year and look at the truth of what was actually happening in people's households. Because nobody really wants to tell the truth about the shit. Look on the screen. Her name is right there. Screenshot it so you can go back to her, okay? And go to her first one where she starts to read the book. But I'm telling you, the magic about it is recognizing that with the good comes the bad, and with, in the dark times, it is something being created of light. It is a symbiotic relationship. Like, okay, but essentially we are in the dark ages, my nigga. Like it's going downhill, girl. Destroying the earth is definitely us going downhill. Individualistic mindset, this whole nuclear family shit that y'all are being sold, that y'all think actually works, but when you look around, it does not. But y'all won't argue with me about it. Okay, please do yourself a favor. You think you fucking smart? Go read this book. You think you're smart? Go read something. Stop talking to me about the shit that y'all didn't seen in a video from some nigga behind a microphone on Facebook that ain't never read a book in his goddamn life. Okay, he only told y'all some shit somebody else didn't say it. But her name is Cassandra Faye Floyd on YouTube. Look it up. All right. The great cosmic mother. Okay. Look it up. And that was just me having to give y'all a little something extra, because they did say something about how, with the way we watch television and all of that, it is meant to keep the revolutionary mind sleep, to keep you in a lower level, to keep you in a lower range of energy. And I feel like if I'm going to be up here, I'm going to do my part to uplift the energy if I'm going to be up here. So we can talk about this bullshit. But let's also try to, bring it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want us to stay down here with it, y'all. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into the show that I got for y'all today. And this is where I'm starting off. And I've been saying this for the longest. I have been talking about this for the longest. And I could not really dissect whether it's like a specific subset of Black women that date white men. Okay? And then there's a specific subset of Black women that are from African countries. But either way, the foundation's going to be wrong. The wig is going to be wrong. Now, African ladies, please don't be upset with me. Y'all have definitely upgraded y'all wig game. In recent years. But it is still stereotypical, these two subgroups of Black women that can never seem to get they wig right. Okay? You should be natural, but you feel like that's not that's not anti-Black enough. Okay? But I've been saying this about Serena Williams. And everybody act like I'm crazy. So to hear another person vocalize it so well, I wanted to share it with y'all. Let's hear what the young lady had to say.
A study on why Serena Williams always looks a goddamn mess. I ain't gonna give her too much because we know Serena Williams has experienced a lot of colorism and anti-blackness throughout her career. But me saying that she looks a goddamn mess is not rooted in colorism and misogyny. While it may not be constructive, it is a valid critique. It's really the wigs that do it for me. The wigs are always dry. They never really complement her skin tone. Her makeup always looks too damn light for her face. Her plastic surgery is unrecognizable. She got these damn fillers in her face, got her looking like Phaedra Parks. Her wardrobe is always ill-fitted. She never wears anything that complements her body. I'm tired of it. I'm almost positive that she has non-black people styling her. The people who are styling her do not know how to style dark-skinned black women. It's a fact. And then it's like, you're rich. Serena, you got way too much fucking money to be out here looking like this. You gotta represent. You gotta represent for the dark-skinned girlies. You've been looking a mess for the last 20 years, and I'm fucking tired of it. I want her to take that goddamn blonde hair out of her head. You're not Beyonce. It's not giving. I want her to go back to her roots and start wearing natural hairstyles. Start wearing braids. You ain't got to wear the beaded braids, but start wearing more braided and more like natural hairstyles. I think that would compliment you a lot more. She needs to get a black stylist, preferably a black gay male stylist, and stop trying to look like a white woman. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm sorry. I agreed with all of that. If you were in my members only live, you saw we discussed a lot of the Met Gala looks as soon as they were popping up on the Instagram. And I do want to pull her look up because baby, it is a no. It is a no. The way the booty, girl, the black gloves, no. The dress is giving wrinkled, even though I know it's not supposed to. It's way too much under eye concealer. Like, why do you have to look so mad at? The wig, yes, the wig is not the color that we need it to be. It's just she has so much good shit to work with that she could have done so much better. Oh no, she's been looking bad ever since she married the white boy. And listen, she's been looking bad ever since she married the white boy. Before that, when she was with Common, and it's crazy, right? You be with these, with Drake, you be with these niggas, and you get your heart broken and disrespected on their songs and shit like that. But essentially, you was out here looking good with the T on the end. And then you go to the white people, and we discussed this on the Ooh Ladies First panel, how we feel like it is something linked there, where you feel like you need to have a separation from blackness. And the aesthetic of black women is to have the baby hairs laid, okay? To have the shit neat and laid back, okay? If we gonna slick it, bitch, it's gonna be slicked, okay? Especially if you have money. And also, it does feel like you want to whiten up your image for the palatability, the palatability, if I'm saying it right, but just to be more palatable to your husband's white family, friends, co-workers, business partners, and what have you, right? Especially walking around as Serena Williams, big ass booty, you know what I'm saying? Beautiful black woman features, wide set nose, high cheekbones, you know what I'm saying? Lips. She's giving you all of the beautiful things that black women, African descendant women come with, okay? So it does feel like if I kind of put forth a more, attached to whiteness, separated from my blackness image, that will be more comfortable for me in the life that I'm living now. I don't begrudge her, but that does not mean we can't call it out when we see it. Now, we want to see her sister? Here we are. She looked like she don't necessarily want to be there, but she looks gorgeous. The dress looks gorgeous. Her makeup looks gorgeous. She's matching. Venus, we don't know. Honestly, Venus probably a lesbian, y'all. I don't know if she married to nobody or nothing, but I feel like I don't never see her with a man. And usually when you don't never see somebody with a man is because they with a woman, but they don't want you to know their business because they still trying to make their money. And y'all be out here doing the women wrong, when they be out here trying to make their money. She look good. Her bun is beautiful. Yes, no. Y'all see the difference? I think it's because Venus does not have to be in a white world in the same way. Okay? Yes, no. Oh, she got a white man too? You lying. I've never seen her with a white man. And if she had one, she ain't in it like that. She ain't in it like that. There is a OLFP today, and it is on Niecy Dixon's channel. Okay. Either way, y'all, we love the sisters. Okay. Like Queen Latifah for years. Listen. Venus Man is white. Okay, girl, we did not know. But she must be one of the ones that can like still retain, their blackness and not feel a way about it. I do feel like there is some truth to that connection because she obviously made this change after marrying and having children with the white guy. You know what I'm saying? And there is something to be said for black women who date white men, and they do kind of. Your girl was on TikTok. The wig gotta be a little fucked up, and white men don't care about ass, so you ain't gotta worry about that. But just put them titties up. Like it was hilarious, and I was like, but that is the type. When you look at rich white men, they will always have some slightly disheveled white woman on their arm. Rich white men love a slightly disheveled white woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian, now that she's in her white woman stage, right? Now that Kim Kardashian is in her white woman stage, she gonna have that waist cinch because white people still want you to be skinny. But she will show up to the award show in her boyfriend's sweater with the wet hair. Hold up, not that, this. And I love this look, y'all. I loved this look. But the hair is not cooked. She is skinnier than she, has been in recent years. And the sweater is supposed to, look, white women get to not give a fuck. White women get to not give a fuck about their looks all the time. They get to have something about them that's disheveled and nobody blinks an eye. They're still the goddess. You know what I'm saying? Black women, on the other hand, historically have had to have every fucking hair in place, or somebody was going to say something about it. With lipstick on the teeth. No, you saw it, right? Okay. Listen, my man white too. And I agree. And listen, that's why I say it ain't nothing wrong with it. It ain't nothing wrong with it. Nobody has to like maintain these, perfectionist rules that black women have. You know what I'm saying? Or really were forced on black women. We don't have to, uphold this bullshit. But essentially, I feel like it's still a testament to the experience. You know what I'm saying? It's still something that we're seeing as a way of dealing with these like race relations and these imaginary things that are put on black and white people, in order to enforce who's valuable and who's not. Okay. But Kim looked good, girl. I was here for that whole look. And speaking of looks, y'all, I guess because we're about to talk about Cardi B as the next story, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Girl, I love you, but hell to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, 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 no. And honestly, I'm trying to see if I can find like just that huge picture that they had of her, because that's her walking. And I did not like the shape of the dress. I guess, since we were doing, fairyland or whatever. Hold up, y'all. Because we were doing that, it was some like evil queen or queen like headdresses going on. And I just want to say that I wasn't feeling it. It's just not for me. You know what I mean? The cone head, Marge Simpson, look, it was not doing it for me. Now look, when she's standing there like this and is giving this over exaggerated hip, I mean, honestly, it's not over exaggerated. Y'all know that that's really probably how much her hips stick out, but it's supposed to be given like the Alice in Wonderland over, overextended body part type of thing, big hip, type thing. Girl, that's what it's supposed to be given. And it's a beautiful editorial look. And that's what the Met Gala is for. But I also feel like I'm supposed to like it, and I don't. I love the green. I love the emerald green. I love the makeup. I love the jewelry. She looks beautiful, but I don't like the look. I just don't. I don't like the shape of the bodice. And I don't like the headpiece. It was just a lot of dress. And that's so beautiful, especially when they all came and, laid it out for her. Beautiful. But I think the green one looked better. Where's the green one? I thought she had posted somewhere the green version of that dress because there was another dress just like this one, a green one. Okay. But yeah, y'all, it wasn't my favorite look of hers. She looks beautiful, but it wasn't my favorite look of hers. Either way, apparently she was on a red carpet and forgot the name of the designer. So here we are.
Make this very clear, right? First thing first, when I was on the carpet, I was very scared because the dress was supposed to be like on a little podium, and I've been practicing how to pose on the podium, but at the carpet I wasn't allowed to use the podium, so I had a lot of things on my mind, and I was being rushed to the front of the line. So when I was getting interviewed, I kind of forgot to pronounce the designer's name because his name is a little bit complicated. So I was like, damn, how to pronounce his name? Like my mind was just racing. I think the former director of Vogue, he got offended because I said Asian designer. I said Asian designer because I know that the designer was Asian, but I wasn't sure what nationality the designer was. And I feel like it's offensive if I was to be like, oh, some Chinese designer or some Korean designer or some Vietnamese designer, because I feel like I don't want to guess somebody's nationality.
Girl, you to this okay. For black people and Latina people, like those of us over here, you know what I'm saying, that may not. Here's the thing: in America, depending on where you live, you only deal with a certain type of Asian, but all of the Asians are stereotyped collectively through media. But there are different ones. You have your Koreans, you have your Chinese, you have your Vietnamese, you have your Japanese, you have your Cambodian. You know what I'm saying? There are different nationalities for Asian people. It is what it is. So for black people, when we don't always know what the correct ethnicity is because we have not been taught to necessarily always be able to tell the subtle differences that make up the physicality of an Asian person, we'll just say Asian because we don't want to be offensive. Unlike some of you motherfuckers back in the day that was calling people Orientals like they was rugs or something. Okay? I hate when people confuse nationality and ethnicity. Nobody's confusing it. Nobody's confusing it though. The people ethnicity and nationality are the same thing sometimes. In this instance, it's the same thing. I hope, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody that is, Vietnamese, they are from Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that is Chinese, they're from China. Somebody that's Korean, they are from North or South Korea. You know what I'm saying? And in Asia is the whole of that area. So when she says, I did not know the nationality, meaning I did not know exactly where they were from. But technically in America, the ethnicity would be Asian. Like when people are making a conscious effort to say something because they don't want to say the wrong thing and you still want to find issue with it, I feel like you just want to make that person out to look bad. You know what I'm saying? I even appreciate her coming to explain, but I think we all know exactly what the fuck she meant.
Nationality mixed up, so I said an Asian designer. So I didn't say that to be offensive or to get your little speedos in a bunch, but I do feel like as a person that work in fashion, I feel like the designer and my stylist, we work really hard for this theme. So for you to be kind of shady because you feel offended or whatever, it just proves why you're the former director. But I want to make this very clear.
Oh, she shaded him. She shaded him. And here's the thing, our history is different, but Asian Americans are called Asian. Like people call someone who lives in America and their family, they might be first generation Asian American. Yes, the people are called Asian Americans like we are called African Americans. The difference is we don't know where in Africa we come from in order to be able to specify because of the transatlantic slave trade. So because we do not know specifically, unless we get DNA tested, what ethnicity we come, what nationality / ethnicity that we come from, we all just say African American because the reason why your people came here, the people you come from came here was because of the transatlantic slave trade for the most part. Honestly, people who are from Africa that were not descendants of slaves and come and live here should be considered African Americans. but you would be considered a Dominican American or a Japanese American because your family, your lineage comes from another place, but you now live here. That's why I never understood why everybody, wants to, separate themselves from the African American of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just reminds me in the 80s and the early 90s where, I got Indian in my family. And now y'all have like found some new age way of calling yourselves, oh, we're from here. Yeah, baby. We know we're from here. We know. But like 400 years ago, or even maybe, I want to say maybe 500 or 600 years ago, we directly came from a certain place. And I don't understand why, as African Americans, we have to like go through this whole thing of trying to dispel how we got here when none of the other nationalities of people or ethnicities of people that come to America and settle here have to do that. A Chinese American, whether they're first, second, third, fourth generation, is still considered Chinese. You see what I'm saying? In the African American, we are just merely generations being here, but essentially still are African American, even if you have been mixed with other things. Because what do you predominantly show up as? I hate how everybody acts so obtuse about these things. I mean, you can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, but I'm just saying, like, we identify as Black for a reason, okay? But yeah, she forgot the name. It happens. She apologized. I don't feel like it's that big of a deal. I do feel like whoever was trying to make it a big deal just wanted to cause issue. And she played the shit out of him at the end there. Okay. But, we're going to talk more about the looks from the Met Gala tonight on the Ooh Ladies First panel. I'm sure Niecy will have everything set up for everybody. But with that being said, we're moving on. Okay. Girl, so I saw this. Is it appropriate? Teacher responds to receiving backlash for letting his female students unbraid his hair. Says people wouldn't have a problem with it if he was a female.
Go ahead and stir the pot a little, shall we? Last Friday, 10 minutes before dismissal time, I decided to live stream my students helping me take my hair out. There was quite the discourse in the chat, which had people saying this was inappropriate and other people saying this was completely fine. There was nothing wrong with what I was doing and people were just making it weird. So of course I had to bring this issue to the big stage. I would like to represent myself in this case, Your Honor, if I may. Number one, for a little context, I had a hair appointment immediately after school and I needed my hair taken out beforehand. I would have taken it out the night before, but that Friday we had a camera crew coming in to shoot a promotional video and I was one of the ones being interviewed. So I had to look presentable, so I didn't take my hair out. I didn't have the time to do it all myself because it would have taken me forever. So naturally I asked about 4 or 5 of my over 100 best friends to assist me in taking my hair out and they all agreed. Number two, this was at the end of class. This week we were doing STEM fair presentations. Since it was Friday and all of my students did an excellent job on their STEM fair projects and presentations, I told them if we get one solid presentation in this class, I'll end class a little early and they can have fun and play basketball, darts, or be on their phones or whatever. And during that time, my team would help me take my hair out. A couple of these were students from my class, but others were students from other classes. I wrote all of them a pass at the beginning of the class period, requesting their assistance 10 minutes before dismissal. I told the teachers only send them if all of their work was completed and they had good behavior. They all met the criteria, so 10 minutes before dismissal, they showed up for their job. My next point I'd like to make is if I was a female teacher, those people wouldn't be in the comments saying, oh, this is weird, this is inappropriate. Because me personally, I don't think there's anything weird about this. People are saying, oh, that's too intimate. To me, it's literally just hair. It doesn't have to be weird. Some people have never had cool teachers, and it shows. I personally believe that building authentic relationships with students is paramount in being an effective teacher.
Why she
I make sure my students know and can feel that I care about them beyond the schoolwork and all the stuff that I have to make them do. I take the time to get to know my students outside of academics because caring for the whole child is what's important. Some of these students have been with me since I was a substitute 4 years ago. They see me as a big brother or a father figure, as some of them say. And me, I don't want kids of my own, so all of these kids are literally my children. And in case you're wondering about their parents, most of them follow me on social media and always talk about my videos with their kids. They always tell me that they're so grateful that their kids have someone like me in their life. In my admin, they're well aware of my social media presence and they love my videos. To me, this is just another wholesome moment that I'm having with my kids that I was fortunate enough to catch on film. Since I'm a science teacher, one thing that I teach my students about is symbiosis. Symbiosis deals with the relationships between organisms. The type of relationship that I like to foster in my class is mutualism, or mutualistic relationship, which means both organisms benefit from the exchange.
Right.
So when my students have good behavior, complete all their assignments, and do everything that a scholar is supposed to do, I reward them with downtime and just time to just be a kid, be on their phones, play games, gossip, so on and so forth. My students and I work hard and we play harder. I'm fortunate enough to have students that feel safe and comfortable around me, safe to come to me with their problems, their frustrations. They come to me seeking guidance and wisdom, or come to me simply to chill and hang out because they know that they have a safe space to be themselves around me. What I strive to do as an educator
No, it's
is be the
a
teacher I wish I
what
had
is it?
grown up. I strive to be the teacher that makes my inner child happy, someone that my inner child would be proud of. I want to be the teacher that my students reflect back on 20, 30 years down the line and think like, dang, that teacher I had in middle school, he was the shit. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm gonna stop it right there because he's going on and on and on. So what I'm gonna say, in all honesty, somebody said it's unprofessional, and I was like, I think the way we think about the relationships in business or just the relationships in school, period, are very like prison like, right? Like it's very industrial complex like. So the symbiotic relationship he's referring to, I believe in, and I do feel like it's necessary. And I do think that people really try to separate personal from teaching kids. And I think that that is really difficult to do if you're really trying to be good at it. However, I'm going to say, I don't see a problem with this as long as it never comes out that you were fucking any of these girls. Because essentially, I recognize that you could not really want any of these young girls, but I could also recognize that they would be doing this because they like you. He a nice looking dude. He, look young. He ain't like one of them older teachers with the stomach hanging over the belt and all of that shit. So essentially, as long as he is keeping the relationship to a student teacher and not taking it in any other type of way, then no, I don't really see a problem with it. Like he said, like a lot of the kids are in LEAP right now. You know what I'm saying? So after they finish taking all of these standardized tests that are really, put there to hold them back in some respects, not really teach them anything. And he asked some of the kids to help him take his braids out. I don't see the problem. Okay. I don't. But at the same, because it's not that deep. Like they're in front of everybody. He's on live. Like it's not being done in a way that I feel like makes it inappropriate. I just think that everybody goes to that place in their head because they know that a lot of men like him would fuck those teenage girls. And there are a lot of teenage girls that will want to fuck this old dude, teacher or not. You know what I'm saying? So that is jail, though. They do hair in jail too. Listen, what did I just say? It's very much like an industrial complex, a prison industrial complex. But at the end of the day, is that still like promoted for there to be that type of, no, like it's not. You keep your hands to yourself and all of this shit. I honestly don't think it's that big of a deal. What if your daughter was taking his hair down? I mean, what do y'all think I'm saying this for? Do you think I'm saying this for shits and giggles, or do you think I'm saying it because I've actually thought about it? I have a niece. If my niece was at the school and she had a cool teacher and they would take because I used to kick it in my teachers' classrooms all the time. I was literally the kid that usually would spend lunch in a teacher's classroom. For real. So a lot of times you would have like these friend-like relationships with your teachers. So it's not always on this level that I think people like to put it on. And I feel like as long as the relationships are not being crossed in any type of inappropriate manner, meaning again, he's not fucking any of the kids, I don't really see the issue. But it takes one allegation, but you can be accused of something anyway. You can be accused of something anyway. I don't think there is any real ill intent behind it. I think he's just used to showing, yeah, like I had cool teachers. Like it's just not that big of a deal. And there were women and men who I believe were fucking the students, and we all knew who they were. And that's not necessarily a relationship that you have with everybody. Is the risk worth it? Is it considered a risk? Is it really considered a risk? Because as you can see, some of us don't really see the issue because we also had cool teachers and we know what it's like to be in a classroom beatboxing and playing cards and shit. There's a level of informality that happens with teachers that get along with their students. So I'm just saying, I understand how people can see an issue with it, but I also really would like for people to stop putting something on it that's not on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool for you to feel like it's inappropriate, and I wouldn't want my daughter to do it. That's perfectly fine. I understand that. But I always want to look at a situation from all sides. And if I'm really looking at the situation, I don't think it would, like, you take out people's hair all the time. Like it's just a thing. Like people get their hair braided, you take their hair down. Like this is stuff, they are accusing him now. Are they? I'll wait till I see that. I'll wait till I see that. And then if that's the case, then yeah, it is inappropriate. If you're fucking the kids, yes. The cool teacher was smashing girls in my high school. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah, no, I wasn't. My cool teachers were white. Like my cool teachers were white. There was no smashing going on. But I also feel like, if a girl was taking out an uncle's hair or an older cousin's hair, or you know what I'm saying, like men that are around that are like family friends, like do you think it's that big of a deal? You know what I'm saying? Like I just kind of feel like it depends on the relationship that he has with the students. I don't think the act of taking somebody's braids out has sexual connotation. Sorry, I don't. And that's cool. If you don't want your kid on live, that's fine. He explained in the lengthy video that he asked for the kids' permission. The parents know that he is a TikToker and he does videos. And honestly, I feel like a lot of times the things that we find issue with are things that are just outside of what we deem acceptable. And why do we feel that way about it? You know what I'm saying? Like you just have to ask yourself these questions sometimes, because it's not always that the situation is so inappropriate. It's what we assign to it based on our filter. His tone on the video was condescending. I mean, I guess, yeah, at some points, I guess it was condescending. It's a no for me. Okay, the cool ones were white too. I'm saying. I also agree that a student knows who is sleeping with the students. I remember. Yeah, no, for real. Unprofessional. Don't want any students taking my hair down. Sorry. Okay. I don't know what y'all apologizing for. That's y'all opinion. Inappropriate does not equal sex alone. But you know that that's what everybody like. Okay, so inappropriate doesn't mean sex alone. So in this context, what do you think is happening by the hair being taken down? What's the connotation then? Talk to me. You know why the boys didn't want to. You know why the boys didn't want to. Because if a boy is taking his hair down, it's going to be deemed as gay. Y'all were going to be on live like, the little boy is gay taking the teacher's hair down. A white male teacher was sexting a student at my school. I'm sure. I'm not saying white people don't do it. I'm just telling you that at my school, nobody was trying to fuck with our white teachers. Okay, maybe you went to a school that had white students. Like Warren Easton didn't have white students like that. 2 or 3. Okay, 4 or 5, maybe. Okay. Y'all don't care enough about children's education to die on this hill of taking his hair. And that's another thing I feel like it depends on the relationship, because I do think it depends on how good of a teacher he is. And if his intentions are good, then I don't feel like this should be like taken as something that we should, this is so inappropriate. Like, okay, cool, fine. But it's just not that deep to me. It's not that deep. Exactly. The boys would have been called gay. So it still goes back to people assuming that act to be intimate and sexual. And it's not. It's not. Taking somebody's braids out is not sexual. Like, It's really, really not. Dude got free child labor. I mean, in exchange, for teaching him, like, you think that's free child labor? He look, you won't get it. Pay everybody $5. Give everybody $5. You think the teachers can afford that? Oh my God, you went to Eastern Car, the real purple and gold. Is it? Or is it the West Bank purple and gold? Cut it out. Inappropriate in a school setting. Inappropriate. It's not educational. Okay, got it. Boys barely want to take their own hair down, so why would they do it for another man? People are always looking for an issue with something. It would be inappropriate if he was like sitting between their legs, but there's another thing I thought of. I'm like, that there are ways that this could be that, but it's not. But I do feel yes, like there is an adultifying of these girls. You know what I'm saying? When it's just really not that deep. It's just not. Time and place for everything. That's why there are rules to respect boundaries. Aha. Most of these folks are not involved in their kids' lives, have not attended not one parent-teacher conference. That's crazy. Doesn't sit right with me. He's not even helping take down his own hair. Just reschedule your hair appointment, dude. What you mean he's not even helping? Like, he got like 5 people to help him do it. Why would he be doing it? And do you know how hard it is to take your own braids out when your hair is that short? He would have to be pulling his head down this way to take his braids out when they have all of these people in his head. Like, that doesn't even make sense. At least he wasn't sleeping with them like the teachers did back in my day. This doesn't seem that deep. And that's what I'm thinking. But I'm also feeling like we don't know what's really going on. But I just would not suppose that from this situation. This is why you need to have smaller class sizes. Parents and teachers need to have close relationships with these kids. We want kids to have no human connections to adults they are with. Yeah, and that's another thing that I'm feeling about this as well. Like, people always sexualize things to the point that people almost cannot even connect with each other on any level whatsoever, because y'all are always putting sex on everything, even when there isn't any sex on it. Shoot, I was in advanced science in middle school, so we did work in 40 instead of 90 minutes. My teacher taught us how to play spades and poker, and we had the highest scores. Good teachers can teach and play. I agree. I can concede that the optics are bad, but what is the real problem besides what it looks like? And that's another thing. The girls can develop crushes on this man. Why blur the lines? I don't know if taking out the hair actually is a blurred line, though, because essentially, what relationship would they form with him in this moment that they did not already have with him, based on how he says that he talks to them and creates a safe space for them? So he's a trusted teacher anyway. Taking his hair out is like the least of it as far as I'm concerned, because if he was actually grooming or creating this relationship with these young girls without any boundaries, it would be present in a whole bunch of other ways, not like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be happening by just the conversation. He could just walk into the room, not really have to say anything, and a young girl could have a crush on him. So I do understand what you mean, though, because that's why I said that's why it could look inappropriate, because at the end of the day, they could have a crush on you, even if that's not the energy you trying to give. But again, that can happen anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand what you mean. How do we know the students didn't offer to help him take his hair down? Well, he said he asked. He said he asked 100 of his students, and a few of them who had finished their work, and everybody was chilling in class anyway, came and helped him take his hair down. Y'all mad about nothing. I see nothing wrong. Agree with you, Bondy. I really don't think it's that big of an issue, unless something else comes out later saying that he was doing something else, and then that's really the issue. But the actual act of having some teenage girls unbraid your hair is just not that deep to me. Right. 10 minutes left of school. It's just not that deep to me. I feel like people often over sexualize situations and then blame the people involved because of where their mind has gone in the situation. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Okay, we're gonna move on. Before we move on, can y'all do me a favor and support my channel? Y'all know that it's my birthday month, girl. I turned 36 on the 26th, so please support the channel, subscribe, share me with your people, or support in a plethora of ways.
Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, girl, we're back. I hope you guys had a chance to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Well, you can't talk to me if you're not subscribed, so there's that. But let's go ahead and get into this next topic.
Because I love them, and this is hard. Like, this is killing me.
Yeah.
But it's for the better. Like, it's for me to get my life better and focus on my schooling, my career, my health. Number one, my health, so I don't fucking die, because I can't do shit for them if I'm dead.
Yeah.
I can't stop stressing if I don't have help, you know? So it's like, and it's like the dads didn't want to help me. They wanted to see me beat. I done lost everything so many fucking times. But you know what? Like I said, I'm going to come back for them. And as far as the whole foster whole thing, like, will it be open? Will I still be able to like see them, bring them gifts and stuff? Like,
what they'll do is they'll set up visitation for you, usually here at the agency or a designation place, whatever the court orders, and you'll be able to see them weekly.
Okay, that's even better, that I can still see them.
Oh yeah, you'll get to see them,
and I can still provide for them, right?
Correct. You
Birthdays,
can bring them gifts, and have all that.
Because like, it's only so much I can do. I mean, I just finished my last medical class today, so it's like I just have to study for my
What school did you go to?
I'm in 2 different colleges right now.
Okay.
One is through OSU for my national medical assistant license.
Cool self. Okay, but if you want to chill back here, I just gotta go interview the kids that talk to me, and know the little ones won't be able to. But
And if you ask Alex, it'll be everything from dinosaurs to siren head. But you'll see what I'm talking about. They're intelligent.
Yeah, they seem like good kids.
They are into because they like because you know I told you we watch documentaries and stuff, so they are into a lot of Greek mythology, in like Indian myths and folklore. So
I like Greek mythology. I'm pretty good at it.
Yes. So sometimes, if you have to try to open the light or something, you know. And I made sure I told them that earlier. I made sure I told them that there's nothing wrong and they didn't do anything wrong. And I don't want them to think that they're not enough, because they're everything I ever wanted. I'm coming back for them. I don't care. Y'all, I'm telling you respectfully from my mouth, whatever hoops you guys throw at me, no matter how you guys try to spin it, I'm coming back for my kids, and I am going to get my kids. So I blocked all my sisters. I blocked all my family, because I don't like none of them bitches. I don't give a fuck about none of them bitches. I'm cool. I cut my ties with family. I cut my ties, obviously, unfortunately, with my kids. I don't have a boyfriend, but the nigga I was fucking, that nigga, I cut my ties with him. If the dads didn't fucking care, why the fuck do I gotta care? And you know, it's sad, because I do fucking care. I obviously fucking care. I love the fuck out of them. And I'm gonna come back for my babies, and I'm gonna get them the fuck.
Okay. And she also said, I just want to clock in, get some money, then go shake some ass in someone club and get some more, then flip that into more money, then go out and pick up and get girl. Okay, let me read what it says. And then I'll give y'all my opinion on this. Neighbors, a young mother has divided social users on her decision to film herself handing her children over to foster care. The woman, who goes by the username Amora Lex, documented her experience talking to a counselor at CPS, and their exchange was heartbreaking. Amara, who is a nursing student preparing to take her NCLEX exam to become a licensed registered nurse, says that she made the decision to forfeit custody of her children because she doesn't have help. This is for the better, she said, while wiping away tears. I need to focus on my schooling and my health so I don't die, because I can't do nothing for them if I'm dead. She says the children's fathers are no help, and she's lost everything multiple times. She promised that she will come back for them and go through whatever hurdles she has to in order to get custody of her children again. The children were waiting in another room while the woman discussed the mother's decision. Amara said that she already told her children that they were perfect and did nothing wrong. The counselor told her she'd be speaking to the children as well. After leaving the facility while still recording, Amara revealed that she blocked all of her family and the children's fathers. If the dads didn't fucking care, why the fuck do I gotta care? She asked. She went on to say that she does care. I love the fuck out of my babies. I'm gonna get them back. She said before concluding the video, judging from screenshots of her social media pages, it's been quite some time since Amara gave the children to foster care. One of her recent statuses from 2 days ago on Facebook says, I just want to clock in, get some money, then go shake some ass in someone club and get some more, then flip that into some more, then go out and pick up and get the bag, go OT and pick up the bag and get the bag there. Okay. Since then, she's deleted her social media. So a lot of people, I see. Okay. So once I saw somebody say she shouldn't have recorded it. Yes, she should have. Yes, she should have. She should have recorded it because I feel like y'all need to see, like people need to see. Everybody is not supposed to be a mother, which is why you should not make it difficult for women to get birth control, why you shouldn't make it difficult for women to have procedures so that they do not have to bring children into the world that they don't have the capacity to care for. Okay? I understand that a lot of y'all want to think that because she says she just want to shake ass and go to a club. You know what that tells me? That's somebody that wants to drown their sorrows. I feel like it was a good thing that she gave them up. And the system is terrible, yes, but there are a lot of terrible parents out there too. There are a lot of terrible parents out there, and there are a lot of, I've been seeing young women drive them and their children into fucking oceans and off of bridges. I have seen girls have babies and throw their babies over the goddamn levee into the canal. Like, it's been so many situations. I disagree. Some things should not be on. Why not? Why shouldn't this be on social media? Give me a valid reason why we should not be able to see that it is hard for women to take care of children in this system as it is. Why is that a bad thing for you to see that? If you are going to take care of your children, how does this negatively affect you? How does this negatively affect anybody? I think y'all really want everybody to continue with the mindset that everybody is supposed to be a mother. Everybody is supposed to be out here trying to have this nuclear family life. And if only these young girls could stop shaking coochie and being whores and worrying about their lashes and their hair, then all of the world would be right. That is a lie. That is a lie. Everybody is not meant to have children. Therefore, everybody should not have to have children. Okay? And at the end of the day, if this young woman did not have what it took to take care of those children, she should have given them away. She should have. She should have turned them over to the proper authorities instead of leaving them with a family member that might harm them. Instead of, trying to off them. And apparently the fathers weren't helping. She said the fathers didn't give a fuck, so why should I? You know what that tells me? The fathers do what a lot of young men do. It's hard to take care of children, so you leave the responsibility with the mother. The mother, on the other hand, probably doesn't have good help. And if she, like she said, she blocked her mom and her sisters and all of that, sounds like to me, them people wanted to come and say something after the fact. But when she was asking for help, y'all didn't want to give her help. But then she go and turn the babies in on CPS on live, and not everybody calling, talking about why you went and turned the kids in. The foster does more harm than any family member could. Coyote doll, you could never really know that. That's insane that you would even say that with such, what I'm saying? As if every single time a foster family is going to be worse when there are parents that have children to assault them. Like, that's crazy that you would even say that. And y'all are going to put all of the onus and responsibility on her for having the children, right? Because she had the babies by herself. And that's why this system does not work the way it is right now. That's why all of this promoting, be a wife, be a mother. No, bitch, be a solid, balanced human being who can take care of themselves first. And then you can extend yourself to taking care of a child. But y'all always trying to create this situation where sex is only supposed to be used for procreation. It's not real and it's stupid. And what ends up happening is because you don't have a good, honest relationship with sex and sex education, a lot of these girls think that having babies and sex and all of that is going to trap some nigga into a relationship, and they end up getting their face cracked when they find out that that's not how it's going to happen. Life is hard. Children are hard work. They require patience, and they require you to be able to hold your own shit together first. But that conversation is not being had. Y'all would rather keep telling everybody to be abstinent until they get married. That dumbass shit y'all keep telling everybody, that's unrealistic. Teach people to be responsible for themselves. You want to have sex? Please understand that you're going to have to take care of these children. So there's some responsibility is absolutely on her. But to me, when you have tried and you can't do it and you feel like you don't have nobody around that you could trust with your children, it is better to give them to the authorities and pray for the best and keep your foot on their neck than to keep those children in your captivity and you can't take care of them. I know a lot of people that had good foster parents. I know foster parents that have saved kids. People that have come into children whose parents are on drugs, come into their lives and completely turn their lives around. Can we teach birth control? And I'm gonna tell you another thing. The reason why a lot of y'all, the birth control thing doesn't happen a lot of the times is because y'all when we were growing up, y'all don't want to put the teenage girls on birth control because you feel like that's going to give them license to have sex, even though they're going to have sex anyway. Oh my God. If you are on here speaking negative on it and you don't have kids, you shouldn't have an opinion, in my opinion. I think when you can't take care of your kids and you need to let them go, do what you have to do. Because at the end of the day, sometimes it's better for children to be in the hands of people that have the patience for them in that moment than to be with a mother or a father or a family member that cannot handle them. Yes, a prime example of having multiple kids when you're not ready or prepared to handle them, especially if you can't take care of yourself. Absolutely. Let's see. Hold on. You take responsibility for your actions. We know niggas ain't shit. It's 4 kids. At some point, she should have stopped or accepted the fact that those kids were going to be her responsibility. And here's the thing. That's an easy thing to say. That's an easy thing to say. But let's not forget how much rhetoric is centered around my mama did it. Why can't you? There is some responsibility in continuing to have children you can't take care of. But when you go and hand them over because you can no longer handle them, there also goes the responsibility. I don't know how old she is and I don't know her. But what I do know is if this girl is going to go self-destruct, then she should do it and her kids shouldn't be there for her. Her kids shouldn't be there for her. Bondy, you making excuses for her. What excuse did I make for her? Or do you just want me to ignore the actual environmental pressures that are added on to our society, to young women in these situations? This is literally the people that are at risk. And they say they're at risk because all of the environmental factors put them at risk. And then they end up in situations like this. I am merely giving you commentary from the standpoint of understanding the social ramifications of how this happens. Y'all just want to make it the responsibility of the mother that's in the situation. And if I say that it's not just on her, then I'm making excuses for her. Or maybe we could think outside the box for a minute and recognize that there are a whole bunch of women that are just like her, and they did not get in this situation by themselves. There's a whole community and society that is enforcing ideals on people that they cannot sustain. That's the conversation. Making young women feel like they should be mothers When the truth of the matter is, everybody not supposed to be a mama. I was just arguing with somebody on the internet yesterday because she thinks that you should be raising your daughters to be wives. Apparently, knowing how to cook, clean, and take care of yourself as a woman means being a wife. Whatever, bitch. Those two things are different as far as I'm concerned. I feel like all individuals that want to become an adult need to know how to take care of themselves. And what that means is paying for shit for yourself and cooking and cleaning for yourself. Everybody should know how to do those things, maintain a household, clean up. Every adult should know how to do those things as far as I am concerned, man or woman. And you should be teaching your children how to do that as they're growing up. Don't wait until they're 16 and then decide you want to start teaching them how to clean shit. No, at 4, 5, 6, they need to be learning how to clean up after themselves, and we're going to commit it to the memory of how they grow up. Responsibility is the issue everybody's having. That's why I had this conversation. Because at the end of the day, when you teach young girls, you should be a wife. You should be a mother. I'm going to teach you how to be a wife and a mother. Do you know what that tells them? Their life is about a man and children, not about themselves. So the time period that they should be exploring themselves and figuring out what they really want, wife, mother, wife, mother, wife, mother. And if I know as a young Black woman, I'm not going to get wife because the boys aren't being taught to be husbands. So there aren't a lot of young men out there that are looking to marry me. So all I can do is become a mother. Y'all are raising them with your baby dolls and all of that to go and have babies. And then you have religions that teach them not to have birth control, not to be in control of their womb in any way, not to really be educated about it, but to be ignorant of it. Because if you're ignorant about it, then you won't do it. And we keep telling y'all that shit don't work. And that's how we end up in these situations. So no, I'm not making excuses for her, but I am simply pointing out that what is expected, what is being taught, does not match with the society and the environmental factors that we live under. That's all. That's all. So essentially, I feel like this is a young woman that could not handle her responsibilities, that made decisions probably thinking she was grown and she could make those decisions. But at the end of the day, somebody raised her and put that in her mind in the first fucking place. And if you act like society has no part in that, you're just being blind to the facts of the situation. Yes, it is her responsibility to take care of the children she has. But once she realizes that she can't, and she decides to document herself giving them away because she can't handle it, and then she goes out into the world and gets fucked up and parties and tries to make money and get fucked up and party, what do you think is going on there? That is somebody that is in a lower state and does not know how to pull themselves out of the lower state. That is somebody drowning sorrow. Y'all really be out here thinking that the girls that are out here acting like this are really, enjoying this. And it's like, no, a lot of them are trying to work through shit. They're fucked up. It just looks like they're having a good time. That's just my opinion, girl. You can feel however you want to feel. But I do feel like it's a lot of judgment towards women when they can no longer sustain taking care of children without a community of help, without a solid community of help. And that's why I think building community is so important. That's why I feel like that whole, mommy and dad. No, yeah, mommy and daddy, cool. But you need your community. You need your family. You need your friends. You need the people around you. But those relationships have to be symbiotic. And a lot of the times the relationships are not. I know one of the reasons why we don't be around my family as much anymore is because it doesn't always feel that great. So you don't want to be around people if it doesn't feel good. And then you don't want to ask for their help if it doesn't feel good to be around them. Girl, all of y'all need to go read The Damn Great Cosmic Mother. Go to the beginning of this video, and you want to be smart. Go read this damn book so y'all can have a better understanding of what's going on out here. Because a lot of y'all judge from a place of ignorance and you have no compassion and you're not really looking at the situation for what it is in actuality, because all you want to do is throw shame and judgment on things. And that's fine because that's what you've been taught to do. So just do yourself a favor, open up your mind, free your mind, and your ass will follow. Okay? I would rather a bitch give the kids up than abuse them. All right? Let's move on, y'all. Renee Graziano.
18th, 2023. You said you died that day.
I died twice that day, actually. So I was sober before I came back to Florida. I was in New York for a while. I came back to Florida and I had this notion, let me just do it. And I was out to lunch with my girlfriend in this very fancy restaurant, but I can't tell you where because I have no recollection of a few days. But I know I was there with my girlfriend. I know that a friend of mine sent somebody to meet me, and the kid accidentally, true story, accidentally gave me a bag of dope as opposed to cocaine. It was an accident. So I have his text messages.
Okay. I love that you're trying to clear him up.
I'm trying to clear him up.
Okay.
I didn't mean like he should be cleared up.
Right, I understand. Okay, so you were at the restaurant. The decision was made to have someone bring drugs?
Yeah.
What drug were you expecting to get?
Cocaine.
Cocaine. She just said it.
And the person who delivered
these finger waves is real cute, Sam.
You thought was cocaine.
He made he accidentally
gave you dope. He gave you powdered heroin with fentanyl in it.
Accidentally gave me the wrong thing.
Gave you fentanyl.
It's heroin, fentanyl. I don't really know. I never touched it. Right.
Did you take it there at the restaurant?
I must have, because that's where I died. I 4 ribs and a double fractured sternum. And my girlfriend said I came back to the table. I sat down and I keeled over. And
how long were you in the hospital?
9 days.
9 days. Leading up to this, because you've had these moments from when you were 14, first introduced, 36, at the overdose in front of your mother and your son. What my friend Michael K. Williams, when he was on the show before he died, he said people focus in on what drugs you're using. They don't focus in on what's causing it.
Hello.
Bingo. And that's it. I self-medicated.
Talk about the burnout that you felt needed to be satiated with drugs.
Okay, so for me, after my father died, my whole world crumbled. I kind of lost my identity with him. Forgive me.
Oh, y'all. Okay. So she about to make me emotional right then. Shout out to Renee Graziano from Mob Wives. The big bang. The reason I'm alive. Where all the stars combine. Listen, I'm sorry. That used to be my shit back in the day. Anybody that's been watching me for a minute, y'all know I used to review Mob Wives. I loved Mob Wives. And Renee was my girl. I'm not even gonna front on y'all. Okay. Even with her, toxic love of black dick child. I love me some Renee. And to hear her still like having her issues, like it's so sad to me. The crazy part though is you're not telling the whole story, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to understand how you don't know the difference between coke and heroin. Let's be very clear. I'm not no expert, but from what I've seen, cocaine is Snow White. Heroin has a brown tint to it in its dried state. So Drita was my favorite at the beginning, girl, but then Big Ange stole my heart. That was my girl. Little boop boop. Anyway, R.I.P. Big Ange. But yes, like, oh my God, Renee, what is going on? To me, you strung out at the point that you go into the bathroom and sniff the bag without paying attention to what it is. And I really want to know, like, when is she going to get like the help to really help her? And this makes me think about what I'm reading in this book, right? Essentially, I think we're all having like this lower level experience energetically, and the things that are being imposed on us in society keep us from rising out of that, keeping you working your ass off, living in fear, living with shame and guilt, keeping you in this, 40-hour work week shit, all of those things, keeping you sick with the food, you know what I'm saying? All of those things, I think, keep you in a low vibrational place. And most spirits, most souls are trying to evolve out of this low vibrational state. And we're doing it in our everyday lives. And then we're also doing it as souls as we die and come back, right? So when we go through these things that we go through, and there are all these outside components put in place to keep us on this lower vibrational plane, to keep us in this slave-like mindset that we're in, so that our energy can be given to the greater, the small few that have all the wealth and everything. All of our great energy of all of the people on, that are working, all of that, all of our energy is being given over to a small few that hoard the wealth, right? Understand that when a soul is meant to evolve up and it's being kept down, it is going to try to find a way to lift back up. And the way that they've done that for us, without the actual soul connection to evolving and lifting, without the mental of lifting, how they do that is with drugs. That's why you have drugs all over the place. That's why you have alcohol all over the place, because these are the things that will help you either stay in your numb state, or it will allow you to rise only for a moment, only to have you crashing back down and causing you to be addicted, and then causing you to lose more of your essence and your life and what your purpose is supposed to be for. So pay attention that when people have drug issues like this, and we always want to act like, I think we shame and guilt people a lot, like it's their fault. But a lot of times it's just the people that crack under the pressure. And a lot of us crack under the pressure just in different ways at different times. You know what I'm saying? Always chasing a high. Yes, a lot of that. And it just makes me sad, because it makes me feel like, makes me think about Robin Williams, like a lot of people that were really, really depressed, but trying so desperately to get out of that, trying so desperately to not be in this lower level. But there are so many things at play that keep you in this lower level, that if you don't learn how to balance out and manage it, you will end up, you know what I'm saying, somebody that's on drugs, or somebody that's sickly, or being worked to death. Like, it'll all show up in one way or another. You know what I'm saying? And people use different names for different things. You know what I'm saying? When people call shit spirits, I do sometimes feel like they like to think it is something attacking the person from the outside, but it is. Essentially, it is. It's something from the outside attacking the person, but affecting their internal. So then it comes out of them. You know what I'm saying? Like the drug addiction is something that's happening within and then showcases on the outside. But essentially, the person is being affected by the shit that's being meant to keep it down. You know what I'm saying? Just a deeper thought for it. You know what I'm saying? Just deeper thought for it, if you gave a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Or they end up unaliving themselves. Another thing, you know what I'm saying? Which makes me so sad. Makes me think about one of my friends that unalived himself last year. And he was such a light to so many of us that loved him. And the fact that he couldn't figure out a way to be good here. I low key, like, when I thought about it, as angry as I was, I also felt like, but I get it. Earth is ghetto. Earth is really, really ghetto. And I really think it's because Earth is also like a plane of existence where you're basically bottom dwelling, for lack of a better term. Okay, so let's move on. All right, we're going to do a quick little like the video, and then we're going to switch it up. We're going over to everybody dragging Kim Kardashian for whatever fucking reason. Okay, y'all. So I don't know why everybody. Okay. I know why. Because listen, yeah, Earth feels very purgatory-ish. Y'all, they really was going off on Kim Kardashian at this time Brady roast. I feel like they roasted Kim Kardashian more than they roasted Tom Brady.
A whale's vagina, which reminds me, Kim Kardashian's here. She's had a lot of black men celebrate in her end zone. Kim, word of advice, close your legs. You have more public beef than Kendrick and Drake.
Okay. Ha ha ha. When y'all gonna stop doing this? I don't know, y'all. I feel like the public slut shaming of Kim Kardashian by a room full of men that would get on their knees and lick something dripping from her ass is insane to me. And I say it like that because men are really deplorable. Like, and not all men, y'all, but like these low vibrational ass men that would love to fuck this lady talk about her and her vagina in such a way that makes me feel extremely uncomfortable. Like, why are y'all, they booed her. Now this.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Jeff.
I know Kim was terrified to be here tonight. Not because of this, but because her kids are home with their dad.
This is terrible. You know what it feels like? It feels like public humiliation because Kim chose to go and have babies with black men. That's what it really feels about. It really feels like y'all want to humiliate her because she chose to go and fuck a black man. I don't even know why she showed up. Did somebody pay her to be there? Because it's insane to me. And that's why I can't stand men who do shit like that. Like, to me, you might as well be a immature 13-year-old boy whenever you decide as a grown-ass man who you know your dick get hard for that lady, want to get on a public platform to slut shame or degrade her by way of her vagina, which you would love to be in the crevices of. Yeah, Tom Brady is given. She didn't let me hit, but she let Reggie Bush hit. Girl, come on, Cynthia. Come on, Cynthia. They don't care about how many men she's been with. They care that the men are black men. Talk about it. Talk about, girl, you took the words out of my mouth. I don't know why she went. I feel like somebody was paying her a lot of money for this public humiliation ritual that she was going through. And it's, listen, come on now. Be here with me. Be here with me, bitch. Page 6 was saying she was interested in dating him. May not be interested now. Yeah, it does sound like every single one of those men that has something to say about her is mad because she chose to have kids with Kanye over them. That's what it feels like to me. She's an attention-seeking whore. Ooh. Well, this is really male-identified of you to say. And she may be, but so are these men. So are these men. It's hypocritical. It's extremely hypocritical. That's the point. It's extremely hypocritical. You know why? Because everybody likes attention. Let's start there. That's another thing. Everybody likes attention. And the roast might as well have been her roast because all they did was talk about her and her coochie. And you know, I've said the same thing, Virgo child, but damn. I really don't care about people being whores anymore. Like, I just don't. Like, the only reason that I care about people being whores is when they are doing it in a self-destructive manner that can be harmful to themselves. That's the only time I care to mention somebody being a whore, because it can be self-deprecation in an unhealthy manner. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, girl, I don't give a fuck about how much people have sex. And I really feel like this is not about how much she has sex. This is about her having sex with black men. It always goes back to being racial. All right, y'all, let's move on because we got some more things to get through before we're done here. Girl, If you were in my members only live, you know I talked about Pastor Keion Henderson telling that lady to shush because she was interrupting his performance. Sitting up there talking about the only voice I want y'all to hear is God's, and then he starts singing and shit. So he wanted to come on Tamron Hall very quickly. I might add. That shit was Sunday. Today's Thursday. This nigga's on Tamron Hall.
The video is not the total story. Yeah. So tell me what happened there. Well, you know, social media is into cuts, not context. Yeah. And every suggestion that I got from every naysayer, I've already done. This is a 4-year battle, right? Oh, this is ongoing. This is ongoing. So I've already talked to her personally. I'd already had ushers go up to her. I've already had prayer warriors. I've had everything. So she did it publicly after being asked not to. What is she? Is she crying? It's an emotional. Well, you know, as a pastor, I know the difference between disturbance and worship. And what people have to understand, is that every time you hear a noise in church, it isn't worship. And so there has to be order. For instance, it's okay to applaud in this room right now. But if somebody got up and just started clapping right now, I'm sure somebody would bring order to the room. Yeah. And so what I did is I brought order to the room so people could hear God and not hurt. And I'll do it again if I needed to. The video is not
again, who is God? Is it him? Because he continued to sing when he wanted you to just hear the word of God. If y'all really think this was about having order in God's church, child, this was about him being able to sing total praise without her screaming in the background. Total praise, y'all. That girl. I lift my hands in total praise to you. Listen, I'm trying to remember. Lord, I will lift my hands to the hills, knowing in time. I'm trying to remember the lyrics, y'all. Can't remember. Your peace you give me in time of the storm. You are the source of my strength. And you are the strength of my life. I lift my hands in total praise to you. Okay, listen. Listen, I'm not gonna do it, but y'all don't know that was my shit. I hate that was my song in church, y'all, and they would always sing it at the very end of church, child. As soon as you would hear that piano, and you, Lord, I will live. Listen, come on now, okay? You are. Shout out to the women in my church that do the ad libs on that. And you are. Okay, come on. Listen, okay, I can say I may not believe in that shit the way y'all do, but trust and believe. I believe in lifting your voice in unison. Okay, listen. All right, I still know it and I still get the feelings, y'all. I still be feeling it, bitch. Let that shit come on and watch me burst into tears. That's still my song, y'all. Okay. But no, I don't care what he's talking about. I don't care what he's talking about. You didn't want nobody to interrupt your performance because I think it's still very weird. And I'm going to clock it because of the way preachers work, that you would say you only want God's voice to be heard and then you continue to sing your solo. Amen. 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 Okay, listen. Y'all asked for it. I gave it to you. All right, let's move on because now I got chills and shit. Now speaking, okay. Speaking of Shaunie, girl, Shaunie got a book. I love this. I love this shot of her. She look good. Shaunie, bitch, you look good on the cover of this book. I'm gonna have to read this. I might have to read this and come to y'all with the bullshit because it feel like something that I could come to y'all with the bullshit with. Okay. Child, don't why is you in here? Why is you in here playing? Don't do that. Don't make me do it. Why don't you sing professionally? Because it's hard. It's fucking hard, okay? I might fuck it up, and I don't be liking to fuck up, okay? But anyway, so look, Shaunie Henderson says she doesn't know if she ever loved Shaq. Let me read to y'all what they said, girl. I'm gonna have to go read this book. Shaunie O'Neal, who respectfully goes by Shaunie Henderson now, released a new book titled Undefeated, Changing the Rules and Winning on Your Own Terms. In that book, Shaunie talks about how her marriage to Shaquille O'Neal crumbled and how she now realizes she probably never loved him. I enjoyed those sweet early years being a mother and raising my children. My days were always busy with kids and family, and every now and again I got to travel or enjoy a little of the NBA high life. But invisibly, my marriage was beginning to crumble. Shaunie says the marriage was like the beginning of a sickness. She didn't immediately. Shaunie says she was often alone with the kids while Shaq was out doing basketball-related things, he claimed. Now, y'all keep talking about how finding a man, you gotta choose right. You gotta choose right. That's what y'all keep saying. This lady basically did what the fuck she was supposed to do. Got her a rich man that married her, and she had a whole bunch of kids for him, and she still was not happy because she was in there doing it all by herself. Our chef did all the grocery shopping. His managers paid all the bills. I took care of the kids. So where was he going in the morning, during the day, and at night? No one works out that often. And it's not even about both people taking part in the household. It's about both people actually being in the goddamn household. Okay? Anyway, Shaunie said Shaquille had, y'all know what I mean, right? Like, essentially, if you have the money to have other people paying for shit, fine. But like, y'all both need to be present in the household if you actually trying to build a family with somebody. Y'all have to be present with each other, and he needs to be present as a father, not somebody that's only there to come in and tell everybody what to do, but somebody that actually takes part in the ritualistic, thing that happens in your household, in your home. Anyway. She says, Shaunie said Shaquille had an answer for everything, so she was never able to catch him cheating despite constantly hearing rumors about it. Looking back, I don't know that I was ever really in love with the man, but I was in love with the idea of being married to the man I had a family with. And a lot of y'all are more so, that's why y'all all caught up on this wife and mother shit, because it's really not about what it really entails. It's about the image, the idea of something. Henderson wrote, I was in love with the idea of building a life together. I truly did enjoy spending time with him. NBA road trips gave me a chance to be with my husband and experience the NBA life for a little while. In his 2011 memoir, Shaq Uncut My Story, he admitted that he had too many options, and infidelity ultimately caused the couple to end their nearly 7-year marriage in 2011. And honestly, I don't even think it was really about infidelity. I don't think it was really about infidelity. I think a lot of women know that when they get with a rich man, they can pretty much expect to be in a polygamous relationship, regardless of whether they want to admit it or not. That's why y'all have this pecking order shit. I'm the main, I'm the first, all of that shit. But essentially, a man with money is gonna have a whole bunch of women, and the women that are with him know that. They know that. So what else is causing the issue? The issue is being caused by you not living in your purpose because you're playing wife role mother, the wife mother role that has been imparted on you. You have been made to feel like this is what you're supposed to do in order for you to be doing what you're supposed to be doing in this life. And at the end of the day, it is not a one size fits all. That's why she wasn't happy. Even with having money, even with having help, even with being on these trips with him, still was not happy. You know why? Because you have to figure out what makes you happy personally. And being a wife and a mother is not going to make every woman fulfilled. But y'all tell every woman that. Okay? Learn from somebody. Shaunie says she left without taking any of his money and started her own business endeavor, Basketball Wives. Shaunie married Pastor Keion Anderson in May 2022. Shaq wished the couple well during an interview in 2023, while he also admitted that he messed things up. Now, there were some people that had an issue with her saying she was never really in love with him, but I feel like that's just her being honest about her story. I don't know why that would upset anybody. If y'all can deal with all of the years of disrespect of this lady having to find out that Shaq was fucking her friends and all of that type of shit, I don't want to hear nothing from nobody in the comments about how her saying that she didn't love him, you know, it is a stab to his ego. Fuck his ego, okay? Shaq actually came out and said something before y'all could start attacking her for saying this. He said, I understand. I wouldn't have been in love with me either. Wishing you all the best. All love, Shaq. Because there was nothing to be in love with. It's the image, not the person. Yeah, y'all can have a good time, but does that mean y'all are really connecting? Does it really feel like this person is sharing their life with you if they have to hide so much of what they're really doing from you? Come on now. Be fucking for real. I'm glad she being honest too. I want to read the book. I want to see what else what other tea she was dropping in this damn book. Okay. So let's move on, y'all. Okay. It's a cute little live, y'all. We got 3 more stories. It's a cute little live. Okay. I'm trying to help y'all through y'all work day on this good Thursday. And then we're gonna help y'all tonight with the Ooh Ladies First panel. Don't forget. And actually, before we get into this, girl, all right, y'all know our trip to Phuket is coming up June 13th through the 20th. Resetbydesignwellness.com. Now, listen, if you have not signed up for the Phuket trip, don't worry about it, girl. We going to Bali next. So make sure you are following Reset by Design Wellness on Instagram, and make sure that you go to the website and sign up so that you can get updates and find out where we going next. Okay. So Suki and JT. Now, y'all know Suki and JT got into it because JT wrote a lyric that sounded very much like it was about Suki. Suki got online and asked for clarification. I think before the clarification even came, Suki got online and said that JT was a cocaine head. Okay. And so then JT spent the whole of a Sunday or something like that, just going in on her, calling her fish coochie and everything. Okay. And so since then, Suki has decided to come out with a diss track. Girl, hold up. Cocaine. Cocaine. Bitch, you want cocaine. Wait a minute, y'all. Y'all know how I like to do. So let me pull up these lyrics right quick, right fast for y'all, so we can read these lyrics, because that's the only way we can do it, girl, without a copyright strike. Okay. Thank God for genius.com. Okay. These are the lyrics. Are we ready? Are you guys ready for the lyrics? Have you liked the video? Are you subscribed? Are you ready? Okay, let's go. You a crunchy, black, long titty bitch. You got scabies. All that eczema you hiding under that coat. I know you hate it. You been hating on Carisha since a baby. You got booked 3 years. You was stealing out of Macy's. I ain't arguing with no hoe that's fucking punks. Ho, you crazy. Is you crazy? Girl, you definitely out here arguing with hoes that's fucking punks. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like that's not even real. Anyway, girl, you foaming out your mouth. Is it rabies? I can tell by that white tongue you eat booty crazy. Ma'am, I know you ain't talking about somebody eating booty, dick all on your tongue and eating niggas' ass. Eating his ass. Girl, how you gonna try to play somebody for what you do? Girl, you had a whole song eating his ass, girl. What? Anyway, everybody in Miami say you suck Z lazy. Like demonic asshole. Tell them how you worship Satan. Ma'am, I can't deal with y'all. I cannot deal with y'all all in y'all lower chakra, but want to tell somebody else that they worship the devil. Girl, all right. Pray to God through your bed. Now you come home and you hate him. Oh, thieving ass, angry beaver looking motherfucker. You was mad at Ice Spice because your nigga wanna fuck. That's true. Bitch, you ain't no scammer. You was boosting out of TJ Maxx. Girl, TJ Maxx got the nice expensive bags if you go to the right ones. Coochie hole so wide, you gotta use your ass. Oh my God. How would you know that? You ain't lying when you say you look like a trans. Yo nigga only fuck with you because you look like a man. That was a cute little line. But that's not true. That lady don't look like no man. Oh, potted head hoe, you snorting lines off a nigga ass. Oh, pissy ass, remember you was 13, used to pee in the bed. Cocaine, cocaine, cocaine. Bitch, you on cocaine. I don't give a fuck what these hoes got to say about me, bitch. Left, right, left. I know who I am. Left, right, left. Y'all hoes be coked out and sucking D right after it came out of another nigga. Cockeyed, nipple deformed, armadillo looking mother. Thinking I don't know your nigga, bitch. Your nigga wanted to eat this sword. See right through my pants. I'm a coochie girl. Verse 2. Let me tell you about hate. Pussy assholes like to smile in your face. I can never trust a dope fiend anyway. You the type of bitch that'll backdoor your friend. You the type of bitch that'll fuck for a 10. Dirty foot hoe, you forgot where you from. Bitch, you just mad cause your nigga wear your thong. Every time he see me, wanna beat it off the bone. You can't expose a real bitch like this. OnlyFans sucking D, I'ma get it how I live. Everybody seen it. I squirt, I piss, I don't give a mother. I'll suck again. Okay, that's real nasty, bitch. That's real nasty. Everybody know my tea, my tea. You get what you see, what you see. I ain't ashamed about anything. When you was in the pen, you was looking on a fiend, or is a fiend? You was looking on a fiend? Eating coochie like a mukbang. I thought it should have been friend, right? Never mind. You're a motherfucking lie talking about who? Me. Nah, bitch, you gonna see. Pussy hole, I'm right in these streets. With a cat this good, I keep a pistol on me. I got a beam for every bump on your lip. Got them stressed out. I am under their skin. Oh, botch, body, bald, eagle looking ass bitch. Not a bald eagle looking with a 5 o'clock shadow. Girl, shave that chin. You ain't no city girl. You a shitty girl. And your man wanna come to the coochie world. Bitch, I am dead. I am dead. Listen. JC, you need to respond. JC, you need to respond, girl. Cocaine. 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 Listen. Bitch, you want cocaine. I cannot, y'all. This is what a rat beefs is going, girl. This is what a rat beefs is going. Speaking of rat beefs, y'all know DJ Vlad got into it with Morgan Jerkins, Rodney Jerkins' cousin, who is a professor at Princeton, trying to get her fired from her job because she said that he should stay out of black folks' business. Now, I've already explained to you guys because a lot of y'all had a hard time understanding my tweet on the matter. So let me explain. DJ Vlad decided to tweet that Kendrick didn't win because he needed to remix the song, not like us. It needed a better mix. First of all, who the fuck talking about mixes? This is about personals. This is about schemes. This is about wordplay. This is about personals. This is about battle rap. And in battle rap, how a song is mixed is literally at the bottom of the list of things that we give a fuck about when it comes to a rap battle. So when DJ Vlad came up out of his mouth to side low key with Drake, it was given, oh, your whiteness is connecting with Drake's whiteness. So that's why you need to come out and say that in some way Kendrick is slipping, right? Because everybody else is saying that Kendrick was beating that ass and whooping feet. Okay? But you came out in defense of Drake. And so the lady was like, white man stay out black people business. And then he decided to at Princeton in every tweet that he responded to her in. Until Monday, when he got backlash from trying to get a black woman fired from her job because he did not like her opinion on the internet. He was using his white privilege, adding Princeton, hoping that Princeton would reprimand her for telling him to stay out of black folks' business. That may be politically incorrect, but is it correct for her to probably be one of a handful of black professors at Princeton? I think not. So at the end of the day, she can have her opinion on Twitter, and you shouldn't be able to use your whiteness to get that lady fired because you don't like her opinion, especially when she does not have the power to dismantle the racism at the school, on the internet, or amongst the two of y'all. Because as the black woman in the situation, she does not have the power in the racial dynamic between she and a white man. So when I said that Vlad, okay, let me hold up. Let me go to my tweet. Hold up, y'all. Let me go to my tweet, because y'all was real, it was a lot of y'all trying to argue with me about this, and it's just stupid that y'all even try to argue with me about it, because obviously we know that Drake is biracial. I said a white man siding with another white man in a rap beef that has racial undertones seems about white. This person, whoever they are, decided they wanted to go back and forth with me about my identity, saying if Drake white, you white. I don't know how the fuck that work. I don't know how the fuck that work. New Orleans is white. Half of New Orleans is white. Oh, so I'm white because New Orleans is white. Baby, everywhere that's been colonized by a Caucasian person has a bloodline of people that are mixed with their colonizers and the indigenous people. I show up in this world as a black woman. Wheelchair Jimmy really has a choice of the way he shows up in this world, to be very clear. So for anybody to act like Drake's biraciality, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is the same thing as my blackness, no the fuck it's not. Simply because I have white descendants does not mean that Drake and I are on equal footing as it pertains to our blackness. Because unlike Drake, I can't disappear into whiteness. Drake can go and disappear into whiteness. And another thing, if we really was using New Orleans, Louisiana standards, historically, you are whatever your mother is. Not your father, your mother. You are whatever your mammy is. That's usually how that works. Especially historically, considering the fact that white slave masters would mate with their black slaves and to make more slave children. I told that person, just stop talking to me. Because there's so many people that try to have conversations or arguments with me, and you're not even on my level mentally to have a conversation with me about ethnicity, race, how I show up in the world, to even make it about how I show up in the world. But essentially, my point in calling Drake white is the fact that Drake is racially ambiguous. Drake also uses black culture and then discards it. He cosplays different forms, different ethnicities of black culture, and he can merely disappear back into Canadian whitedom whenever the fuck he feels like it, also because he has money. All Drake had to do was get a fucking nose job, and y'all would not know he was black. Y'all, he's racially ambiguous. I am not racially ambiguous. To act like those two things are the same, you are just being ignorant and stupid because you don't like the fact that I called Drake white. The only reason I'm calling Drake white is because he's acting white. J. Cole is biracial. Do you see us calling J. Cole white? J. Cole don't act white. I don't see J. Cole cosplaying in black culture and then disappearing into whiteness. Those locks are free forming, and they've been since we met him. Ever since he started growing the hair out from the fade. And oh yes. And this is another thing. Vlad Jewish, Drake half Jewish. He did get a nose job. He did get a nose job. So he'll look less like his black ass daddy. So at the end of the day, a lot of y'all, had an issue with me calling Drake white. I am in full understanding of what it is to be biracial. I am also in full understanding what it is to be an African American and have white descendants. I know. Does that mean that I'm not black? No, that's not what that means in any way, shape, or form. Does that mean that I can call Drake white in this instance to draw the connection between Vlad defending him, Drake's role in this rap beef? Come on, man. The nigga literally made a line about, oh, you rapping like you trying to save the slaves, trying to free the slaves. You don't even realize how racially insensitive it is to even say some shit like that, because you are not really in black culture like that. You are on the outskirts of black culture. So yeah, your daddy can be black and you can be biracial, but does that mean that you are fitting into our culture as a black person for real, for real? No, and that's a part of the issue. That's the reason why Kendrick is so valid in eating your ass up, because you are cosplaying blackness, because you are seeing it as a gimmick and not as a real identity. That's the issue. So my pointing out his whiteness is bringing it all back to the main issue here. White man protecting a white man, racial undertones, while attacking the job and the education of a black woman. If you don't see that as a microcosm for how this racial shit can really work sometimes, how crazy it is. And yes, I know that Vlad has a black wife, and that don't mean shit. But please understand, there's somewhat of a joke in my tweet. I am well aware he's biracial, but God damn it, we are not the same. My two black parents, me coming out of a black woman's body, definitely makes a defining difference in my experience versus Drake growing up and coming out of a white woman. I don't care what you're talking about. Drake is black. It sounds like colorism to me. Drake is biracial. And it's all colorism. It's all colorism, honey. All of it. All of it. Him thinking he's better because he's light. The black men who are making fun of him for his whiteness, but at the same time go and have children with white and white adjacent women, creating Drakes for them to make fun of. Oh yeah, girl. Listen, it's a whole dichotomy. It's a whole issue. But please be clear. Please be clear. Drake is biracial. I said what I said. Okay. After considerable reflection, I would like to apologize to Morgan Jerkins for tagging her job in my replies during our Twitter exchange last weekend.
Fuck you, motherfucker. First of all, fuck you, motherfucker.
Hilarious. Hilarious. That's just my opinion, y'all. That's my opinion. Lastly, y'all, let's go on Cuba Gooding Jr. And this is basically like an update because we've all been talking about the Diddy case and Rodney, Lil Rod, the producer that is suing Diddy. Also, as y'all can see, y'all see the picture right here? Y'all, it's a fucking picture. So basically, as previously reported, producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr. filed a lawsuit against Diddy, but he also detailed, a story that allegedly went down on Diddy's yacht in the U.S. Virgin Islands. In the complaint, Jones alleges that the Oscar winner began touching, groping, and fondling his leg, his upper inner thighs, near his groin, the small of his back, near his buttocks, and his shoulders. And as y'all see the way he's looking at this man in this video, right? Jones believes Combs was grooming him to pass him off to his friends when he introduced Jones to Gooding and allegedly suggested that Cuba get to know Mr. Jones better. Jones says the incident made him feel extremely uncomfortable, so he rejected his advances. But the actor allegedly did not stop until Mr. Jones forcibly pushed him away. While making a guest appearance on the PBD podcast, the Oscar-winning actor finally addressed the allegations against him and Diddy. I think whatever he's dealing with, he's on his journey, man, said Gooding. I can't imagine that he's stupid enough to do whatever he's doing and keep it on his premises. I think that the raid and all that stuff, only time will tell who was involved, who had been a frequent guest in these places and areas. It's funny because my lawyer said, you know, every outlet in the world wants to talk to you. And again, I'm not defining myself from some headline in the press, so I stayed quiet. So you did the shit until somebody comes out with video proof that you did the shit, is what you're saying. Because let's not forget, Cuba has been getting hemmed up for putting his hands on people repeatedly. There is video of him groping women all over the place.
Little Rod with, you know, all the stories that everybody's hearing about.
You mean in terms of what?
I mean, you know, raiding his, you know, his house being raided.
I mean, that's crazy. That's the craziest thing I'd ever. And then, hey, how about me? I wake up in the morning, I turn on Today Show, and actor Cuba Gooding Jr. I was like, excuse me, pull me into this. I think whatever he's dealing with, he's on his journey, man. I think that God has got him on a path where I can't imagine that he's stupid enough to do whatever he's doing and keep it on his premises.
But he is, just like you're stupid enough to grope a woman where you know cameras are present. He's absolutely. Do you know why? Because people start to feel like they are godlike and they can get away with things because they are powerful and they've been allowed to get away with things. They do shit in front of people and nobody says or does anything. So of course he's stupid enough to keep tapes of him fucking people on his premises, thinking that nobody's ever going to bust down the door waving a 4-4.
Think that the raid and all of that stuff, only time will tell. Who has been a frequent guest in these places and areas. It's funny because my lawyers said, you know, every outlet in the world wants to talk to you. And again, I'm like, I'm not defining myself from some headline in the press. So I stayed quiet and hadn't seen him since that night where this guy with this picture that says that I had my shoulder on him and all this stuff, making it look sordid. Well, that
making it look sordid
picture, everyone in the room, there's probably 300 of us on the deck of P. Diddy's, I'm going to show you, on P. Diddy's boat, New Year's Eve. I went from one ship, Happy New Year. So I hung out with Tyson and next ship, there's Drake. This ship had P. Diddy. He had his guy, his videographer. They're listening to music.
Do these ships feel safe to y'all? Tyson, Drake, and P. Diddy? Honestly, you're explaining it and it only sounds like when the niggas decide they want to meet up in the water so that they can do shit under maritime law.
And he says, hey, Cube, listen, you want to hear P. Diddy's new song? I said, yeah, sure. Sit down next to him. They didn't use this angle, which to me makes me laugh because I go, oh, I get it. You made it look the way you wanted it to look. But that, and if you hold it, you know how you hold it and it does the thing where, can you hear all the people? If you tap it or something.
Does he seem to think that there being a room full of people here matter? So wait, you think we stupid enough to not deduce that everybody that's in the room is down for whatever is going on? Come on.
It's a live and hadn't seen him since that night where this guy, it's a live picture. You see what I mean? It's like, here we are, just listening to music. Finished, took the thing off, said whatever I said to him, left. That was it. But this guy who's suing him, going after the money, man. I'm sure.
Oh, this is what y'all, oh, he's going after the money. He is going after the money, but y'all still did that shit.
And by the way, I don't know P. Diddy's life. I don't know what he's going through. I don't know what the guy with this picture that says that I had my shoulder on him and all this stuff.
I want to see the picture.
Making it look sordid. Well, that picture, everyone in the room, there's probably 300 been a frequent guest in these.
What's going on with it? Here. I'm just go back here. Y'all look at, because that's all we need to see is that circle right there. First of all, Rodney looks uncomfortable. It looks like a uncomfortable smile, because if I am playing you music, why the fuck is your arm around me like this? And it's not even just that his arm is around him like, oh man, haha, we having a good time. No, he has his arm around him and he has his arm in front of him. The posture of that is very predatory to me. Say whatever the fuck you want to say, Cuba Gooding Jr., but you're not making this look any better. When I tell y'all, I cannot wait to see all of this evidence that Rodney has, because I know there's a lot of evidence. You really think that because it was a whole bunch of people in the room that we were supposed to think that ain't nothing happened? Boy, bye. Let me read y'all stuff before we get out of here. Kira Boo, hey love, thank you for the super chat. Hold up, let me get to my applause for everybody. Thank y'all so much for supporting my channel, being a member for 7 months. Twins Vanity 96, thank you for being a member for 12 months. Thank you so much, Bondy. You are a wonderful and inspirational woman. Keep doing you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. We're gonna start this over. Okay, DeQuasia, thank you for being a member for 30 months, my love. Thank you. Thank you for always time coding my videos, too. I appreciate you. Miko Spice, thank you, my love, for the super chat. That was the best thing she did for her babies. Happy birthday, month, boo. Thank you. And that's what I think, too. Okay? Yes. Thank you, Dominique Lee. She tried and failed. I don't know what else they want. Like, they want her to keep them children and suffer through that shit. That's what they want. Constance Hickman, thank you for the super chat. Ashe Bondy, I just love you. Keep your foot on their necks. I'm trying. You know, they try to tussle with me, but I'm standing on business out in these Chanel shoes, bitch. The Critical Capricorn, thank you for the super chat. Better to give them to CPS, unlike that mother that killed her child and herself this week to keep it away from the ex-husband. Girl, I saw that shit. When it was a white lady or was it a black lady? I can't remember, but I remember somebody doing that shit. I read that story too. It's crazy out here. Cynthia G, my boo, thank you for the super chat. To play devil's advocate, it is well known and have been for generations that white men shun white women who date black men. I actually understand why, to be honest. Black men aren't upstanding men of quality. The truth of the matter is it's all based in racism, Cynthia, because you know that a lot of these white men are not upstanding men of quality either. The ability to rape and pillage and hoard wealth does not make you upstanding. Diamante Harper, thank you for the super chat, my love. Hey, big cousin in my head, I'm catching the playback. Love the Bondy Blue Show, BBS, y'all. That's what BBS stands for, Bondy Blue Show, if you did not know. Okay, because people was confused. Thank you, love. Yoli C, thank you for the super chat. While I sing in here with you, listen, y'all better sing with me when I sing on here. Senivia, thank you so much for the super chat. I sang Total Praise at my dad's funeral, girl. I sung I know that there are times in your life. This is another Yolanda Adams. When the wheels just seem to turn and uncertainties about your tomorrow seem to grow. One thing you should remember, and you should always know. Out of everyone who loves you, I love you the most. Just a prayer away, baby, because my daddy used to say that to me all the time, that out of everybody that love you, I'm gonna love you the most. Oh, and your mama too. That's how he would say it. But Total Praise, you said, girl, listen, we was gonna sing at our daddy's funeral, child. DeQuasia, thank you for the super chat, my love. People are coddling Drake and making him out to be a wounded victim out of this beef. Child, I'm not even accepting that bullshit into my spirit. They can go to hell with that. And thank you, Muad H. Nate, for the super chat. We need to go back to who your mama is. The fathers are too in and out to keep a child's identity consistent. Child, listen. Well, with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed today's show. Please don't forget to share me with your people. Tell them about me. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you so much, everybody.
Anyway